Hey, welcome back everyone to the Maverick channel. And I think you've noticed my main focus is on Fetch.AI. For whatever reason, I don't know. I guess that's where the universe has led me. I've kind of done a lot of research about Fetch.AI in the past 1.5 years, and I completely love this project. And I've always wanted to look up for the Amazon, for the Tesla, for what other company out there is coming up that will potentially be as powerful as Google, Facebook, and all these companies. And that essentially drove my motivation towards paying attention to this company that's at the frontier of artificial intelligence, is at the frontier of things like multi-agent systems that have not yet been explored in the world. And it's placed at the right moment. It's almost like the earth being placed at the right moment between the sun, and it's not too close to be too hot, it's not too far to be too cold, and it's right in the perfect Goldilocks zone. So I feel like Fetch.AI is perfectly fit in the Goldilocks zone of artificial intelligence, of machine learning, of multi-agent based systems. And I think these people have got their hands on the money. And I don't mean that as an investment, but literally they are at the frontier of something amazing, especially with autonomous vehicles coming in and mechanization and automation and all these things. Automation of machines. So it's amazing. So today we're going to look at two platforms that are being built around Fetch.AI, which are Atomix and Mettallex. So these are amazing decentralized platforms. One has everything to do with lending, and the other has everything to do with derivatives and commodities, decentralized. So bringing the whole market onto this decentralized system, bringing commodities, metals, and all other pairs, crypto commodities, onto the crypto scene. So we're going to look at two platforms and what they mean for Fetch.AI, what they mean for the world, what they mean for the crypto community, and what they mean for anyone that's within this ecosystem that has a team that they can trust and believe in, that's building amazing products. So let's look at Atomix. So Atomix is a lending platform implemented in large part on blockchain that enables the use of secured real-world assets as collateral for loans in stablecoins, with the goal of offering this with an unmatched level of transparency and flexibility. Atomix intends to collateralize real-world assets. This, if successfully executed, would imply that a lot of illiquid sectors in the economy, like real estate, can instantly become liquid on a global scale, combined with the fact that these services would be instantly available to anyone on the globe with an internet connection. So the main tokens within the Atomix ecosystem, basically Atomix is lending and tokenization of physical assets. I guess it's a combination of decentralization and centralization in a way, because there have to be physical players in between. If you read the light paper, there have to be physical players in between that have to validate different assets that you're going to collateralize in order to be liable to getting a token. But the other part of it is decentralized. So I think that they're doing some groundbreaking stuff. So the tokens within the Atomix ecosystem are, we have the ATMX token, which is the Atomix token, and these tokens can be sold by holders on the open market as well as distributed by the protocol via the Atomix distribution contract. Holders of Atomix have voting rights on deciding system parameters as well as updating the smart contract code. There's the XUSDT. XUSDT is pretty much you have US dollars. So XUSDT is what you get after if you collateralize an asset on Atom, or if you're a liquidity provider, you receive XUSDT, which you then return later to receive your USDT with a profit. And we'll look into this. So the XUSDT, this token is minted by the liquidity vault and represents USDT supplied by liquidity providers. When a liquidity provider supplies USDT, the system mints and transfers XUSDT to the liquidity provider. So later, the liquidity provider can redeem their XUSDT plus a return on their investment, obviously incentivized by also getting Atomix tokens, extra incentives to liquidity providers. And the Atomix collateral token, which is the ACT, this token is issued to the borrower that has placed a given asset as security. And finally, we look at the Atomix collateral token, which we will look into later in more detail, which is the token issued to the borrower that has placed a given asset as security. So Atomix is targeting the following user bases for now. we have an originator or a borrower that offers a security asset and in turn having capital that they can use for lending or pursuing any other endeavor in the physical world. So you give an asset and then you receive capital that then you can use, just like what you do with a bank. So an asset could be a singular or a pool of assets, depending on the nature of the assets that an originator wishes to use as their collateral. So you have these collateralized loans, but are backed by actual physical assets that are tokenized. So if a borrower that has minted ACT, which is the Atomix collateral token, against their assets cannot interchange these particular tokens for a different asset on the network, just like with LP tokens in a liquidity pool like Uniswap or PancakeSwap. So these ACT tokens strictly are bound to the representation of a specific collateralized asset. However, these specific ACT tokens are still infinitely divisible, which means that one can use fractions of their holdings to borrow USDT and use it outside of the platform for whatever they need. So we have the liquidity providers, which we've kind of hinted on about. So liquidity providers have funds available for investments and want to receive a competitive return plus extra incentivization through the reward of the Atomix governance tokens, which can be used to modify protocol parameters or sold on the open market. So if you hold a bunch of these Atomix tokens, you can make decisions on the protocol on how the smart contract can be governed and whatnot. So in short, I don't want to stretch this out so long. This lending platform, you can tokenize physical assets and do amazing stuff, basically democratizing this whole space and providing a service to everyone in the world that can change lives in a major way. If you read their light paper, you can see other things like governance. You can know more about things like governance, the tokenizer. This is one of the third parties that I was talking about that's in between the process. There's the security trustee. This is another third party within the process. These people guarantee the authenticity of the asset that you brought, that the borrower has brought. I think the tokenizer determines the value of the asset so that the necessary amount of ACT tokens can be issued to the borrower and then in turn used to issue them collateral on the platform. Issue them that need a capital and increase the liquidity on the platform. So the value of the ACT token is another thing you can find out when you read the light paper. There's also something referred to as the ACT invariant, or you can find out about the loan liquidation calculations, the journey of a liquidity provider, the journey of a standard borrower, what happens when you breach the borrowing limit, debt recovery, and so on. There's a ton of useful information in the light paper, and it's just like the name states, light paper. It's very short, it's neat, and you understand everything about it. So quickly, let's jump right into Mettallex, understand what it is. Mettallex accessed the world's first DEX focused on token-based commodities trading, accessible 24/7 with tight trading spreads, low margin requirements, and unique hedge instruments that ensure you don't get liquidated prior to settlement dates. So Mettallex, in short, is addressing a $2 trillion commodities economy. It's a decentralized blockchain-based commodity and derivatives exchange that's powered by the Fetch.AI technology. It facilitates both physical and crypto commodities. Powered by Fetch.AI essentially means that Mettallex intends to incorporate a couple of advanced functionalities provided by Fetch.AI into the Mettallex ecosystem, especially functionalities such as the advanced or automated market makers. So the target market that Mettallex is intending to capture is the growing market of the holders of physical commodities that want to digitize them. That's a huge market that they're trying to target. They're targeting traders, speculators, people that want to speculate on increases, or people that want to short or long the market, plus liquidity providers. As we've seen similarly to Atomix, liquidity providers are a big deal and they need to be incentivized. And then Mettallex wants to solve issues such as cost and capital efficiency, provide liquidity to illiquid markets, avoid risk through banded trading, and democratize market access. In other words, having a product that's available to anyone with an internet connection in the world. So you have real estate somewhere, anywhere in the world, and you can create a pair of any assets. If you have a team of people that's willing to provide liquidity to that pair, you want to start a company with certain assets, you can provide liquidity and get that thing moving, as opposed to the usual metal commodities markets that are very inaccessible. So Mettallex does not only cover crypto commodities, but share prices, metals such as iron ore, steel, and other unique markets, as we've sort of hinted on. So the physical commodities market is very huge and yet very illiquid and inaccessible. That's why Mettallex has seen an opportunity to enable the building of instruments around all kinds of tokens that can be traded within a price band. So this price band creates an environment where a trader going short or long on a commodity knows exactly what they'll make or lose in case things don't go as planned. The plan is to bring more traders by engaging the community through trading competitions and incorporating more instruments, commodities, and markets in an interoperable way, i.e., deployed on different chains like Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Fetch.AI, Mainnet, and others. So the Mettallex team is also planning to add governance, which simply means adding the ability for Mettallex or MTLX token holders to participate in policy voting, similar to Atomix. Mettallex recently announced a partnership with Conflux. Conflux is one of the only few blockchain projects that's authorized within China. This partnership opens up the Chinese market to the Mettallex platform in a massive way. This is big. These people, they know how to look for partnerships, which is amazing. And Mettallex is also working with Fetch oracles, Chainlink oracles, and other partners to ensure accurate pricing within this decentralized exchange. The idea is to have a very risk-managed platforms where anyone can easily list their own token pairs, and having this accurate price aggregation is very, very key, and it's not something that's very easy to do. So these people are solving some major problems, and it's really hard to see the hard work that's going in the background into bringing these platforms and making them look as simple as they seem. It's definitely a tremendous amount of work, and that's why I'm very bullish on the Fetch.AI ecosystem. I'm bullish on the Mettallex and Atomix and all the products being touched upon by the hand of the Fetch.AI ecosystem. The Mettallex DEX is actually live on Ethereum on the Coven testnet. It's live on the Binance Smart Chain. You can actually use real money on the Binance mainnet. Plus, they've been running liquidity reward pools for months now. These reward pools, there's some running on the ETH mainnet where you can run Ethereum USDT pairs, Ethereum Mettallex pairs, and you can run a Fetch Mettallex pair as well as you receive MTLX tokens as a reward, which is pretty good. I think the percentage is about 275. I think it's 275. I'm not too sure on the numbers, but around there, I know it's above 270, so it's pretty amazing. And so those are the two main platforms that I wanted to cover today that are being built around the Fetch.AI ecosystem for now, in terms of platforms that can easily be used in a decentralized way by people that are familiar with the cryptocurrency space, and hopefully making them easy to use in the future for people that are hoping to onboard onto these decentralized platforms. Plus, because in ways like Mettallex is planning, for example, Mettallex is planning to launch, monetary onboarding through credit cards and other payment platforms, so that people that aren't too familiar with the crypto space can onboard and use these decentralized platforms without necessarily having to buy Ethereum or Bitcoin or any other altcoin. They can directly onboard onto these platforms, just like the way you can onboard onto an exchange. Anyway, guys, I don't want this to drag on for so long. I just wanted to bring to you these amazing platforms that are being built around the Fetch.AI ecosystem, and there's much more to come. There's others like Mobix that are built by other teams, and I'll cover those in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.